Hello, Bronco fans and football fans everywhere. Welcome to Broncos Breakdown on the MHRT network. This is a show that is everything Broncos and brought to you with emotion, passion, and of course, well, before that, honesty, and of course, my comments. I am your host, Bronco Bill. All right, guys. Today was supposed to be a very special day. I was supposed to have a very, very special guest. I'm not going to reveal the name, but a very, very special guest due to miscommunication that's not taking place. I'm going to work really hard to get that corrected, and hopefully we can have him in the very, very near future. But like they say in Hollywood, and I'm in Southern California, the show must go on. So that's why I'm still here. That's why I am here, I should say. Okay, by myself. Avatar said, "What's up, Broncos country and Avalanche fanatics and Nuggets nation?" Avalanche. Avatar. What do you think about the Nuggets? Seriously, sweeping. And I don't have this as a topic, but you brought it up, so let's talk about it. The Nuggets swept LeBron James and the LA Lakers in LA. I mean, the first two were obviously in Denver, but the last two were in LA. And, when in game 4, when LeBron James came out and scored like 31 points in the first half, I'm like, all right. It looks like Denver wants to win it, at home. And then all of a sudden, the second half, the Nuggets did whatever they did to shut down LeBron James. And Jokic, that guy's insane. No wonder he won the MVP. The guy is absolutely beyond real. I mean, for a center. And I know there's been many centers in years past, like, you had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You had, what was his name? Wilt Chamberlain. Players like that. Nobody has transformed the center in basketball like Jokic. Nikola Jokic. No way. The fadeaway pass that he made to basically ice it, well, although the defense had to do some stuff too, but to keep the Nuggets or put the Nuggets back in first, not first, but what I'm saying, ahead, and keep it that way, that was an absolutely unbelievable play. He's fallen backwards after, beyond the 3-point line, and it goes in. That to me was insane. Totally insane. Avatar, I totally agree with you. I know you're excited. This is the first time in Nuggets history that they have first record, or not record, but to them it is first time that they've ever swept a team in the playoffs, and the first time they ever beat the Lakers in the playoffs, and first time ever to the NBA Finals. That has got to motivate. I just don't know if beating the Lakers is going to drain some of their energy, because the Lakers are like, for the Broncos, it's like the Chiefs or the Raiders. It's your division. It's the team that's always, beating your backside. And the Lakers have always beaten the Nuggets. And then the Nuggets turn around and sweep them. So I'm just kind of wondering if maybe that energy, if they can sustain it going into the finals. I sure hope so. Absolutely sure hope so. Okay, let's get into the topics. All right. First topic, Brandon McManus. Denver Broncos have released the last Broncos player that was part of Super Bowl 50's championship. You realize that, guys? That's only 6 years removed, going into 7, but still only 6 years removed. And McManus is the last player on that team to not be there anymore. That tells me that, if you're in the NFL, you're the time on any one given team or even in a career is not that very long. Continue. Brandon didn't stay unemployed for long, however, as the Jacksonville Jaguars quickly signed Brandon McManus. Okay. The terms of it were not disclosed. I've been out of town for the last week, so I've gotten these topics basically right off the fly. So it wasn't mentioned. If anybody out there wants to chime in as what his contract is, that's fine. My concern is this: when Denver releases a player, they go to other teams and have success. Look at Jason Elam. Look at Von Miller. Look at others. I mean, it continues. Brandon McManus is now on Jacksonville, okay? And people say, yeah, well, good. I'm glad he's gone. Why? Because he missed a 64-yard field goal they had no business even trying? Because Nathaniel Hackett, and yes, I'm bringing up the Nathaniel Hackett issue again, because Nathaniel Hackett is all the reason why the Broncos are in this situation. 100% the reason why. He had no clue what he was doing. And he put Brandon McManus out there to basically ruin him. And I know Jacksonville says, oh, hey, we have no problem with him. We'll take him. Absolutely they'll take him. Because they're not going to ruin him like Hackett did. Not going to put him in situations that he can't succeed. That was stupid. He misses a 64-yard. He had no business taking. He missed a 63-yarder. Again, maybe no business taken. And people say, yeah, well, he had the leg and he could do this and he could do that. And he could have made it if he angled it correctly. Well, shoot, if I hit my 7-iron, on a par 3 and I happen to hit it correctly and it goes in a hole, I can get a hole in one. What are the chances of that happening? Slim and none. Just like the chances of McManus hitting a 64-yarder is slim and none. It's hard enough. I mean, the goalpost must look like that from 64 yards. And you're trying to put a football about this size into a – come on, man. You got to be kidding me. And yes, they get paid a lot of money to do their job. I'm just ticked off. I really am, because who do we have now to kick a field goal? Anybody out there know who we got? Anybody want to volunteer? Hey, I'll go out there and kick. I mean, what are they thinking? I know out with the old, in with the new, a new head coach, blah, blah, blah. I get it. But McManus is gone because Hackett put him in that position. Totally frustrates me. Totally frustrating. I don't think to me that was right. It wasn't fair. I mean, what? You're going to get rid of Russell Wilson because he made all these makes? That was Hackett too. Sure, Russell had a lot to do with it, but when a play is called and you have no weapons out there to throw it to, and you're running for your life, I don't like it, because I don't know who we're going to have. And I know we're trying people out, but why are we trying somebody out when McManus was good? Does everybody forget what McManus did in Super Bowl 50 or that season where he was like dang near perfect? Yes, he's older. I get it, guys. Okay, I understand. It's a business. I'm just saying I don't like it. You guys can have your own opinion. I'm just telling you I don't like it. All right. Let's see. My sister says, how do you know so much sports shit? That's my sister. Keep doing your thing. You're killing it. Love you, bro. Shoei, thanks so much. How do you know so much sports shit? Oh, guy. You know what, Shoei? Given the circumstances of this past few days, I really needed that laugh. I really needed that laugh. Thanks a lot for making your brother laugh, like always. I know. Thanks a lot, sis. Yeah, even though I'm a Broncos fan. Well, you know what? Family, blood's thicker than water. So in this case, blood's thicker than rawhide, I guess. Rawhide? Is that what it is? I think that's what they call it, rawhide. Anyways. Okay. Okay, Avatar says McManus missed a few extra points, kicks, and a few field goals last season. Okay, you're right. He did. But let me ask you, Avatar, do you think that has anything to do with the frustration of the way the team was being run by Hackett? I mean, maybe it, it trickles down. It does trickle down. You don't like your boss. You don't like, you're not, I mean, obviously, he's trying not to miss them. I get that. But when the game is 10-9 or 12-10 or 12-11, I mean, you know what? The frustration can get in. You can kind of lose your focus. I know I go back to golf again, but it's the same thing in golf. You know, you can lose your focus if you're constantly struggling with your caddy. You're going to lose your focus. And I'm not a big golf guy. I mean, I'd love to play golf, but I just know that you can a person can get distracted. Is all I'm saying. Avatar also says that McManus was 28 of 36 last season. All right, so he missed 8 field goals. Do you personally think that those 8 missed field goals would have resulted in 8 more wins? Now the Broncos win 13 instead of 5? I don't think so. Maybe in a 10-9 game, maybe in a 12-11 game, certainly. But did it really come down to that? It should not have. But again, I go back to Hackett. He had no freaking clue what he was doing. Absolutely zero clue. That's why he's not a head coach anymore. He's back to the offensive coordinator because that's all he really knows. Although he didn't really call too many good plays on Denver, so who knows? Let's see. My sis chimes in, said, if I need football info, I'll call you. Well, good. You should call me anyway, just to say hi. We do that all the time anyway, so it's all good. Okay. Speaking of releases, the Arizona Cardinals have released a wide receiver, DeAndre Hopkins, in a surprise move due to not being able to find a trade partner. Now, I'm wondering why they couldn't find a trade partner. Is it because of his salary? Oh, absolutely. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Nobody's going to trade and take on DeAndre Hopkins' salary of, I don't know, close to 21 mil. Would you? I wouldn't. I mean, we already have Jerry Jeudy. We have Cortland Sutton. And we have Tim Patrick. You know, and we don't need to have a DeAndre Hopkins. But I'm just wondering, now that he's released, if Denver would take a look at him. And I'm not quite sure why they would take a look at him. Would they take a look at him? Well, why not bring him in? He's a quality wide receiver. But is there enough footballs to go around between all the Bronco players? And would he be an addition in the locker room as opposed to maybe, a prima donna and wanting to be that guy? I don't know. It's just interesting. I continue. Arizona will eat 21 plus million in dead money, but they will save 8.9 million in cap space. Well, that's not that big a trade-off. You're eating 21 plus mil, and you're saving basically 9 mil. Okay. I mean, you got to do what you got to do, but holy smokes, man. Really? You're going to release him and eat that money? Well, I guess you have to if no team wants to take on that kind of salary. I don't think Denver should take it on. Absolutely not. We already have. Why? I mean, sure, the Walton Penner Group can bought the Broncos for 424 million, 424 billion. I mean, yeah, they can afford it, but why? We don't need to spend that money. All right. Do you think Russell Wilson gets any respect in Seattle? He won a Super Bowl in Seattle. Do you think he gets respect? Do you think he gets, hey, thanks an awful lot, we're going to retire your number? Nope. They're not retiring Russell Wilson's number. Instead, Russell Wilson still gets zero respect or appreciation for what he did in Seattle. As the only quarterback to win a Super Bowl in Seattle, Wilson still gets kicked to the curb. The latest indignity comes in the form of Wilson's number 3 jersey being lifted in the rafters, retired, like John Elway's number, Peyton Manning's number. Nope. Instead, it comes in the form of Wilson's number 3 jersey being given to cornerback Artie Burns when Seattle recently signed in free agency. Wow. That would be like John Elway John Elway's number 7 being just given to some guy, some free agent guy. Wow, you talk about a slap in the face. I continue. This over-the-top disrespect shown to Wilson reveals a distinct lack, and I use the word heavily, lack of class on Seattle's part. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, why are they still holding a grudge? Because Russell Wilson wanted out? Because Russell Wilson wanted Pete Carroll fired? Sure, I would too. Pete Carroll's an idiot. Look what he did to USC before he went to Seattle. He dang near destroyed that football program and then goes, whoop, see you. Whoop, I'm out of here. I'm going to Seattle. Yeah, that's what cowards do. They run. They don't face what they've done. They don't hold themselves to accountability. And now they're slapping Russell Wilson basically to the curb. Why? Because Russell Wilson was sick and tired of the way things were being run in Seattle and with Pete Carroll. And he wanted out, or he wanted Pete Carroll gone. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? So that means that you got to disrespect and show very little class. I never liked Pete Carroll to begin with, and I dang sure hate Seattle. I can't stand Seattle. I don't like their fans. I don't like their arrogance. Absolutely nothing about Seattle. I don't even want to live there because it's so freaking cold and raining all the time. Anyways, I don't like the fact, and people are going to say, okay, well, that's because Russell Wilson's on the Broncos. No, it had nothing to do with that. It has to do with the way you treat a player that gave everything he had to an organization, and then you just go, see ya, slap in the face, bye-bye. Oh, by the way, we're taking your jersey that we thought was really cool because you were wearing it and give it to somebody else, because that's what we do, because we don't respect you. We don't care. Man, you talk about a very classless team, extremely classless team. You would think they'd be jumping up and down for how Russell Wilson is, because they got all of those draft picks from Denver, as well as 3 of our players. You'd think they'd be jumping up and down. Nope. They're still holding a grudge because that's the mentality that the Seattle ownership and their head coach has. Good. I hope Seattle, I hope you lose every game this year. I know you're not going to, but I hope you do. And if you don't, I dang sure hope you don't make the playoffs. So there, how about that? I'll kick you to the curb. Golly, you talk about lack of disrespect. I mean, lack of respect, I should say. Lack of respect. Man, unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. All right. Avatar says, right now we don't have a kicker unless they're going to use our punter. Well, that's what I'm saying, Avatar. What in heaven's name? And I understand that this didn't come from Greg Penner. It didn't come from George Payton. This came from Sean Payton. What the heck? I mean, is he going to bring in what is it going to be, the New Orleans Broncos? I mean, the Denver Saints? I mean, where are we getting our kicker from? I just don't understand. I don't get it. And I'm not a head coach, and I'm not, anywhere near being associated on the field or around the players of the NFL. I have no clue. I have no clue what they're looking at, how they look at it, what they evaluate, all that. I have none. As a fan, though, I don't like it, like I mentioned earlier, because, you can't put all the blame on McManus. Sure, he missed the field goals, but what situation was he in? In the impossible situation, like the 63 and 64-yarder? Was he in a situation where he's frustrated because, Hackett can't call a decent game and the Broncos are struggling just to get points? Yeah, sure, you would think that McManus would be more focused. But when frustration enters into anything, people, when it enters into anything, it changes your outlook. It changes how you do things. Absolutely changes how you do things. Okay? I just don't like it. You watch. If McManus goes to Jacksonville and blows up this year, don't forget that I said many Bronco players have left Denver for various reasons and gone on to great careers after Denver. Jason Elam, Von Miller wins the Super Bowl, and now Brandon McManus is going to Jacksonville, amongst other players that have left. All right. Jerry Jeudy. Oh, boy. Here we go again. Season hadn't even started. We already have an injury. Thank goodness it's not season ending. Here it is. During the OTAs, Jerry Jeudy was injured after colliding with cornerback Jaquan McMillan. Jeudy limped off the field, but Coach Payton said Jeudy would be fine, but I kept him out for precautionary purposes. Okay, he'll be fine. What does that mean? He's going to be day-to-day on the OTAs? Does it mean he'll be fine a week from now? Couple days from now? Several weeks from now? See, that's the thing about Sean Payton. He goes like this. I'm not telling you anything. I'm just going to tell you that I held him out because of precautionary purposes. Okay. Well, how long is that? Not saying. Well, what about, so where was the injury? Well, it was on his thigh, but it's not bigger. Is it a bruise? Is it contusion? Is it possibly going to keep him out of OTAs? Not saying a word. See, I don't know if I like that. I like to know what's going on. And I know that means bulletin board material for other teams, especially during the season. I get that. I'm not naive to that. But this is OTAs and this is practice stuff. But you know what? That's what Sean Payton does. He goes, I'm not saying a word. Because he does not want other teams or people out there to know what's going on. He wants everything to be kept in-house. And like I mentioned, to a certain point, I would agree. But as a fan, I want to know if Jerry Jeudy's okay. I want to know if he's going to be, working out in the OTAs and things of that nature. That's what I want to know. Is he okay? He's had history of being injured. I just don't want him out because he was so prolific last year. And that was under Hackett. Imagine what Jerry Jeudy could do this year under Sean Payton and years down the road. Yeah, I don't want him injured any more than I want any Bronco player injured. I know it's part of the game, but I just don't like it. And I dang sure don't like it in OTAs. Sean, what's going on? Tell us. But if you don't tell us that everything's good, then okay. I just like to know. Okay. Speaking of injuries, this one is a comeback from not one, but two could have been career-ending catastrophic injury. The Denver Broncos began their OTAs yesterday, and guess who's back? That's right, the topic of the show, the return of Javonte Williams. That's correct. Javonte Williams was back at full practice, making cuts, running hard, and showing no signs of his torn ACL and MCL. That is fantastic, fantastic news. Now, my thing is, okay, he's great. He's running. He's making these cuts. He's doing the hard, slants or whatever he needs to do, the moves. But he's not getting hit. And it's not live game action. And nor do I want it to be. I don't want to take another hit, especially in OTAs. There's nothing I want for that. I don't want that to happen at all. But I'm just wondering if he feels good enough, and it sure sounded like it in that article there. It sure sounds like Javonte Williams is doing all the necessary things he needs to do to get back to the form that he had in his rookie year. I know they're just beginning cuts and they're just running hard, and that's all well and good. I understand, though, from talking to people that I used to work with that had torn ACLs, they would say the hardest thing to do is to go laterally, left and right, or plant really hard and go left or right. It's much easier to go straight. And that's why wide receivers have a tendency to come back from an ACL, because basically they're running either a fly pattern, or if they do cut, they don't cut as hard. But today's technology is much, much different. And the things that they can do with arthroscopic surgery and all of that, I I have no doubt in my mind that Javonte Williams will come back strong. And this is a great indication that he was running hard, that he was cutting, he was making football moves. And that to me is extremely encouraging because in shows past, I mentioned we don't know what kind of or who we're going to get in Javonte Williams. We don't know if we're going to get the rookie sensation, or we don't know if we're going to get a guy whose career is ended or could be ended real soon. But this encouraging topic that Javonte Williams is back on the field, running hard, cutting, making football moves is extremely, extremely exciting to me because I love Javonte Williams, man. That guy reminds me so much of Terrell Davis. Terrell Davis is a little bit bigger, I believe, but Terrell Davis would see the hole and make one cut and go. And unfortunately, Terrell Davis suffered a career ending or nearly career ending because he played a couple more years, but he never was the same when he tore his ACL. But that was years and years ago. And like I said, sports medicine and surgery has all come a long way since then. Absolutely come a long way. So Javonte, I wish you all the best, man. I can't wait to see you out there. It's going to be exciting to see you back in action behind number 3, Russell Wilson. All right. Speaking, or I shouldn't say speaking, but going to a Bronco nemesis, an absolute Bronco nemesis, thorn in the back, in the side, anywhere, any place you could put that thorn. He's back in the AFC West to wreak havoc again against the Broncos. But not on the field. Retired and future sure Hall of Famer Tom Brady is headed to the Raiders. Nope. Not as a player, but as a minority owner. Once again, he will be a serious nemesis to the Denver Broncos. We just can't get rid of this guy. I mean, I'm sure he went to Tampa Bay for a couple of years of stuff and whatnot. We didn't really have to deal with him there, obviously. But we had to deal with him numerous times when he was in New England. And now we got to deal with him as a minority owner for the Raiders. Now, is he going to have a whole lot of say? Oh, yeah, you think? He's Tom Brady. Mark Davis is going to listen to him. Absolutely going to listen to him because Tom Brady is Tom Brady. Say what you want about him. Dislike him, hate him, whatever you want. The guy is a winner, and he knows how to win. That's my fear. Because he goes to the Raiders, and who knows what could happen. He could have a whole heck of a lot of pull. And he's got resources. He's got money. There's no doubt about that. And he could stick it not only to the Broncos, but to Chargers and to the Chiefs, which would be good, both of them. But he could stick it to everybody in the AFC West. And then what? See? That's what I'm saying. And I've talked to people just today where I work at the golf course, and some of them are Raider fans. And they were saying, this is great for Raiders. I even had a Bronco fan, this is great for the NFL. I'm like, what? I mean, I understand because Tom Brady's still in the spotlight like he wants to be. But holy smokes, it's not good for the Broncos. Dang sure not good for the Broncos. He's going to have a lot of pull in Vegas. I don't care if he's a minority owner or not. He's going to have a lot of pull. No doubt about it. People are going to listen to him. Why? Because he's Tom frickin' Brady. That's why. Oh, boy. I tell you what, as we get closer and closer to the NFL season, a lot of wheels are turning in a lot of different teams, not just in the AFC West, but especially in the AFC West. We still got the Chargers to contend with Herbert. We still have Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes and that whole freaking team. And now we got the Raiders with Tom Brady sitting up there in the captain's chair as a minority owner. Okay. Strap on your bootstraps, guys. Cinch up those belts or whatever. It's going to be a fun NFL season in the AFC West. All right. This one is interesting. According to the teams according to the Broncos team's online roster, the Denver Broncos will have a player wearing the number 0 in the 2023 season. Who is that? Well, you might think a wide receiver, maybe a cornerback, a running back, a punter, field goal kicker we don't have, maybe, because we have 0, so that would fit him. Nope. It's outside linebacker Jonathan Cooper. Jonathan Cooper is going to wear the number 0. Now, I know it's probably just going to be the 0 to center. I wouldn't think it'd be 00. Didn't say that. But here's the reason why. And I thought this was really interesting. And I probably should have made this my what's the word? What's the phrase? I forgot what. I forget what I called it. That's not on my board, so I can't see it. A feel good story. I should have done this as a feel good story, and I think I still will. This is a feel good story. Cooper wore the number 0 at Ohio State in 2020, because it was given to a selfless player with leadership qualities. So he chose that to wear on the Broncos, which I think is an honor, because he's saying, hey guys, I wore this in Ohio State. And they give this number to the person. The 0, in how I see it, the 0 represents selflessness. I have no selfish ambitions in me. That's why it's 0. 0 selfishness. And I'm a leader. I have leadership qualities. That is tremendous. And for Jonathan Cooper to want to wear the number 0 and go back to his Ohio State reasons why he had or wore number 0 in Ohio State, to me speaks volumes. I think it's phenomenal. That to me is a very, very feel-good story. I love it. I think it's great. It's kind of different, obviously, to see a middle linebacker wear a 0, but hopefully, guys, now you'll know why he chose to wear 0. So the number 53 is going to be up for grabs, whoever may want it. But number 0 will be worn for the very first time in Broncos history that I'm aware of. And is worn by Jonathan Cooper, middle linebacker, going back to his Ohio State days and wearing that number as an honor. I think it's great. Absolutely. I think it's fantastic. Totally think it's fantastic. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, guys. We're going to the very last topic, and here it is. I want to know what you guys think of this, okay? The fair catch rule. On a 1-year trial period, this season, a team that fair catches a kickoff will be given the ball at their own 25-yard line instead of where the ball was caught. Oh, boy. Okay. This is not going to sit well with a whole lot of people. And it really didn't sit well with a couple of teams, including the Denver Broncos. I'll get to that in a second. But think about this, guys. Let's say the wind is in the kicker's face, okay? And he's got a strong leg, and he kicks the ball down to the 3-yard line. The guy goes like this, fair catch, boop, catches it at the 3. Instead of letting it go in the end zone, because you never know where the ball's going to bounce. You don't do that on a kickoff. You field it because you don't know where the ball's going to go. So he fields it at the 3, but he waves fair catch. Now guess where the ball is? 22 yards further up the field. Because the new rule is where no matter where you make a fair catch on a kickoff, the ball goes at your own 25. Holy cow. You might as well just let the ball go in the end zone. They are trying to take away the hitting and the hard contact of a kickoff and the players all running down and basically just smashing into this guy. They're trying to take that away. And you're taking away a part of the game that fans love. I mean, a hard hit resulting in a fumble. Or how about we go back to years ago? A lot of you guys may not know this, but Terrell Davis made the Broncos team in an exhibition game in Japan against the 49ers when he went down on special teams on a kickoff and just lit up the kickoff returner, just blew him up. and the players and the coaches are like, who the heck was that? Oh, that's Terrell Davis. Holy smokes, that guy can play. Yeah, you're taking that away from a lot of guys who are trying to make the team, and a lot of guys who their livelihood is only on special teams to go down there and field the kick or field the punt. And now you're taking that away on kickoffs? What's next? Put the ball at the 50-yard line and let's just play arena football? Come on, man. What is going on? I mean, I understand that if the Broncos kicker, whoever we get, because we don't have him yet, go back and listen if you want to know who's gone now, Brandon McManus. Anyways, you look at it and you have a strong leg and the guy fair catches at the 5-yard line or the 6. There's no chance for, there's no chance to go down and tackle him because he's automatically going to get the 25. But if it works in reverse for the Broncos, of course I'm going to like it. But you can't have it both ways. I can't say, okay, we kick off and we go down there and there's no fair catch rule that puts the ball at 25, so we go down and tackle them. But for Denver, we get to call fair catch. No, it doesn't work that way. Nor would I want it to because it's not fair. But I'm not sure I like this. I'm really not sure I like this. And I want to see this in preseason. I want to see how it plays out. Because now instead of having basically you're taking the 100-yard football field and reducing it to 75 yards every single kickoff. I don't know, man. I got mixed emotions on this. I really do. I don't really understand. I'm gonna get into reason why the Broncos were on that list. But I want to get to Kamani. What's happening, my friend? Always nice to see you in the house. Glad to see you in the chat, Uncle Bill. How'd go Broncos? You bet, man. Let's go Broncos. You love it. There it is. That's what I want to hear right there. Come on, he says he's in Illinois with the future wife. Gotta love it, man. Gotta love it. All tip my hat to you, my friend. Tip my hat to you. Congratulations. I know it's around the corner. Couldn't be happier for you. Come on, I really like it. All right. Christopher Earl Ashley says, not a fan of the dumb rule. I'm not really either because of reasons I stated. You make a fair catch on the 3 or 4 yard line, and now you just gained, 22, 24 yards, 22, 23 yards. I don't like it. I don't like it at all because it takes away from the game. It really does. It takes away from the guys on special teams that are trying to make the team or trying to make a play or trying to stay on the team. And now you're basically just going, we might as well have all the 11, 10, the other 10 guys stand back. The guy kicks it, calls a fair catch. Not going to happen if you didn't have anybody going down there. But you know what I'm saying? I just don't like it. Oh, absolutely. Totally agree with you, Christopher. Love the kickoff return. Oh, absolutely. Like I mentioned, that's how Terrell Davis made the team years ago. Was he went down and made that tackle on the kickoff returner and just blew him up. And literally, not making this up, but he literally made the team on that play. 100%, no doubt. He even said that. And the coaches said it too. Christopher also wants to know, will this rule affect the onside kick rule percentage? Oh, wow. You know what? That is a very, very good question. Will this rule affect the onside kick rule percentage? Well, I don't know, because if you do an onside kick, if you could do a pooch kick, I wonder instead of trying to kick it high and deep now, not knowing if they can make it into the end zone, which would then come out to 25 anyways, would they then try and pooch kick it to force the players to have to field the ball? I'm not sure. The onside kick, I don't know, because you're kicking it from your 35 or your 30. And you got to kick it 10 yards. That means that you're giving them a heck of a lot more yardage, upfield than you would at the 25. So I'm not sure about that. But I'm kind of wondering now about the pooch kick. I really am wondering about that because that to me would be something I would think would be more prevalent than trying to kick it deep if knowing full well they're not going to return it. So I think that's more along the line. I could be totally wrong, but It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what teams try different things in the preseason. That's what I want to look for. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I was saying, Christopher. More short kicks, absolutely. I mean, kick it to the 20. But then again, now see, this whole rule is screwing everything up. Because if you kick it deep and they fair catch it, it's going to the 25. But if you kick it short, let's say you kick it not necessarily a pooch kick where it just goes, right in between the guys that are furthest and the ones that are up front, and you put it right in the middle. Short of that, or I should say longer than that, let's say the kicker kicks it down to the 22-yard line. Well, they're going to field it, and they're going to run it. They're not going to call fair catch because you're only going to gain 3 yards. They're going to run it, and now, because of this stupid rule, they're going to catch it at the 20 or 22, and they're going to run what? Another 8, 10, 15, 20 yards? So now let's say they run 15. So now you're up to the 40. So what benefit did the short kick give you? Nothing. This rule sucks. And I know it's only for 1 year, but now I'm starting to hate it. I mean, I was reading this going, well, that's pretty cool, man. Denver could get the ball to 25 every time. Yeah, well, so could the other team. Or the 30 or 35 or 40 because we kick it shorter. Wow. I don't know. I don't understand where these rules are coming from and why. Other than trying to just, create a flag football atmosphere without actually having flag football. But that's basically where we're going. That's where we're headed, guys. And I don't like it. I like football to be football. That's why I don't like soccer, even though they call it football because they use their foot, duh. But I don't like soccer because it's back and forth, nothing happens. You'd be lucky to score a goal once every 5 games. It's just, I don't like it. I don't like it. It's boring. And this is starting to get away from the football that I love. And the reason why I love the sport is because of the contact and because of the hitting, because of the great plays, the great catches, the great runs, the game itself. Don't sugarcoat. Don't water it down. Don't water it down whatsoever. And this rule is doing exactly that. Okay. Let's see. Christopher says also, will they have a choice to kick off the tee or punt like a safety? Yeah, well, that's another one too. Probably still kick off the tee, but holy smokes, man. It's just crazy, Hey, what's going on there, Big E Bronco? Nice to see you in the chat, and I see the house. He says, how's everybody doing tonight? Doing great, man. Doing great. Just about ready on the last topic. But yeah, doing great. If you missed any part of the show, please go back and watch it. Appreciate it. Let's see. Big E says, well, if it keeps going the way it is, the NFL is going to shoot themselves in the foot anyway. And except what? And except hell will be the main one to watch. Yeah, no doubt. It's just, if they shoot themselves in the foot, and I know they're trying to keep the game more safe or make the game more safe, but short of putting flags on them like they did in the Pro Bowl, sure, it might be fun to watch, every Pro Bowl every now and then or whatever, because your guys are out there just running, having a good time. Do you really want to see that as an NFL mainstay, NFL staple? I sure the heck don't. Absolutely not. To me, that's not football. I look at flag football like older guys, older people, I'm older, but I wouldn't be, I'd probably play flag football because, you might fall down, get bumped into, whatever like that, but it's not like, hitting hard. Sure, flag football because you're older and you want to still play the game and have a good time with your buddies and, pickup game or whatever. Okay, that's all well and good. I don't want to see it at 1:00 in the afternoon on Sunday. Okay, I don't. And that's what is happening here, in my opinion. They're watering the game down, and it's frustrating me. Big time frustrating. All right, let's see. Christopher says, if you watch XFL, I kind of like how they did kickoff. More planning, better returns. Yes, I like that too. They're innovative. It seems like the NFL is going the opposite way. They're going, let's go this way because we don't want anybody hurt. We got star players. Okay, yeah, you got star players, but you know what? You got to be innovative. You got to create things to make the game more exciting, not less. Not less. I mean, now they don't even. Back in my day, not my day, but younger days when I was watching football, that ball went in the end zone. You had the returner had to field it and then put his knee down because he was signifying I'm giving myself up. Okay, then the ball came out to I think the 10 or 20. I believe early on it was a 10-yard line. I could be mistaken, but I know it was out at the 20. Okay, so but that's in the end zone. Anything outside the end zone, they had to field, plain and simple. And then they introduced the fair catch, and then now if you're in the end zone, you don't want it, you just kind of walk away and let the ball hit in the end zone. I mean, that back in the day, that years and years ago, that ball lands in the end zone. It's a live ball, period. It's not dead. Oh, not today, man. No, you just wave. The referee waves his arm, going, okay, well, he didn't want to take it. Come on, man. I mean, I could go on and on. I can make the rest of the show, which I'm starting to do about this insane rule. All right. Okay, Spencer. Hey, Spencer. Nice to see you in the chat. I see the house. Spencer Bronco in VA9986 says the kickoff rule is good. If we're going to expand to 17 and 20 games, we have to protect the assets, the players. 6 quarterbacks played all 17 games last year. XFL does kick off right. Okay. I agree with you. You're right. We have to keep, if we're going to go to 17, 20 games, you're absolutely right. But there has to, in my opinion, there has to be a happy medium. There has to be a happy medium between fair catch, moving it, 1 quarter up the field, to allowing the guys to, return it and the special teams players to, make a play, make a hard hit, cause a fumble, things of that nature. Maybe a solid tackle for, less gain than they would have. Things like that. There has to be a happy medium. And if the NFL can adopt what the XFL is doing, why not try it? I mean, they can even try it in preseason, see how it works. Or like in this case, 1-year trial. Why not? Why not be innovative? Why not expand and make the game more exciting and still be safer for the players? That's all I'm saying, guys. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Let's see. Big E Bronco says, well, I understand what you're trying to say about the 6 quarterbacks. That's why the running back was obsolete when football was football. Absolutely. Totally. Absolutely. No question. But again, I just think you got to find a happy medium somewhere, some way. You got to make a happy medium, because if you don't, you're going to lose your fan base, for one. And that's the money pit. That's the money pit for the NFL, is a fan base. You what's that word? Disingen. Well, you know what I'm saying. If you diss the fan base, then you're basically killing your sport. No doubt about it. Or same with business or anything else. And this is a business, so they'd be killing it. All right. I'm gonna give the reason why the Broncos were involved in this. Roger Goodell didn't have the required 24 votes, so he had to flip several owners' votes, and Denver Broncos co-owner and CEO Greg Penner was one of them. Greg Penner flipped, and he was voting against it. Now he's voting for it. Wonder what changed his mind. Oh, Denver's been vying with Roger Goodell in the NFL for one certain thing that we should have had years and years ago. Here it is. It's unclear how Goodell got Penner to change his vote. However, the Broncos ownership wants a future Super Bowl in Denver in the near future, obviously. If they build a new stadium, they want a Super Bowl. And maybe that was the key swing vote that Roger Goodell needed. Think so? I certainly do. Absolutely, I certainly do. No doubt about it. Especially if Denver ownership is looking to build a dome or a retractable dome. Why not? I've said that for years. I know the Broncos want the elements, then open the dome. You've got the elements, and you still protected the fans from, not getting totally soaked and everything. Do I like Mile High and Power Field the way it is now? Absolutely. I like it. I like it. I think it's a phenomenal stadium, but you're not going to get a Super Bowl there. Wait a minute. Wasn't the Super Bowl held in New Jersey? And wasn't it cold? And did they have issues? Oh, the Broncos were there too. That's right. Broncos were there. So how come the game was held in New Jersey in cold weather, but it's not being held in Denver, or wasn't held in Denver when they built Mile High, the new Mile High, the one now in Power Field? Why? In my opinion, because the NFL was biased against Denver. Whatever reason, I don't know. But if the Broncos ownership is going to build a new stadium, I say build it with a retractable dome. Absolutely with a retractable dome. And if that was maybe the swing vote that Roger Goodell needed to get this new rule change of the fair catch implemented for this upcoming season for 1-year trial, Roger Goodell had better live up to his promise. If that's what it was, it better live up to his promise. Because if the Walton Penner ownership group is going to build a new stadium, and there is a lot of talk about it, and they're doing a lot of research on where the style, they're bringing in architects, they're doing all of this to see, the dynamics of this and all of that. If they build a stadium with a retractable roof, the Super Bowl had better go to Denver. Absolutely had better go to Denver. It's gone everywhere else where they built a new stadium except Denver when they built Mile High. It did not go there, and it still hasn't gone there. And I think it's because Roger Goodell either didn't see eye to eye with Pat Bowlen, didn't want to reward him or something. I don't know. I'm not saying, I'm just speculating. I don't know. But it dang sure can't be the high altitude, because in Arizona, there's high altitude, I believe. Or maybe not as high as Denver, but they've had the Super Bowl there. They've had the Super Bowl in bad weather, so it can't be that. They had it in New York. So what other reason would it be? But I'm just saying, if that was the reason for the swing vote, Roger Goodell had better come through. If and when, or I shouldn't say if, I should say when, the Broncos new ownership, Walton Penner Group, builds a new stadium, and if it's retractable, the Super Bowl had better come to Denver. That's all I'm saying, guys. All right. Let's see. Spencer Bronco VA 9986 says, great, we can build a stadium. Goodell gets a vote, and we get a Super Bowl. Quo pro. Oh, yeah, of course, it's tit for tat. Yeah, no doubt about that. Just so Mahomes can win a Super Bowl in Denver. No, Spencer, no. I want the Broncos to win it in Denver. But hey, I don't care. I mean, I do care who's in the Super Bowl if Denver's hosting it. But then again, I want a Super Bowl in Denver. Not that I would go because it's going to cost an arm and a leg, for tickets or whatever. I mean, I would love to go just to be around the energy and the passion and the excitement and the emotion. Oh, heck yeah. That'd be so much fun. Absolutely be so much fun. My point being is this. Freaking shirt. My point being is this. I want it in Denver because it should have been in Denver when they built Mile High, and it wasn't for various reasons that I still can't understand, because it's been in other places with the same type of circumstances. So I would love it in Denver. Absolutely would love it in Denver. And if Kansas City happens to be in there and they win it, so what? Well, I mean, I'd be frustrated and ticked off because it wasn't Denver. But hey, only one team can win a Super Bowl every single year, guys. 32 teams start the season. Only one wins it. So it's a tough road to hoe. But, and so Spencer also says everyone wins. Absolutely. NFL wins. The city of Denver wins. The state of Colorado wins. Money pouring in left and right. Are you kidding me? Come on, man. Especially in January when you got the ski resorts open. Shoot, man. That's a money pit. I don't know why they haven't had it in Denver before, except for the reasons I stated. In my opinion, that is. Not real concrete reasons, my opinions. Anyways, Christopher Earl Ashby says, wasn't Pat not a fan of Goodell ideas? I don't think he was a fan. He kind of didn't like a lot of the things that Goodell was doing. And maybe that's another reason. Maybe Goodell says, okay, you don't like the things I'm doing. Well, guess what? You ain't getting a Super Bowl. I mean, there's a whole lot of behind the scenes things that we don't know. We can only speculate. So maybe a lot of that has to play into it. Very well could play into it. Roger Goodell, he's got a lot of pull being the commissioner. He can pretty much stick it to you if you don't kind of agree. It's kind of blackmail to me. Absolutely blackmail, but that's a society we're living in, especially in big money sports. So what are you going to say? Okay, so Spencer Bronco also says, Bill, but didn't the NFL do a rotation for years between Miami, San Diego, and Tampa Bay? Yes, they did. Miami because it's warm weather, San Diego because it's warm weather, and Tampa Bay because it's warm weather. But then they branched out, of course, and they went and they were in New Orleans. They had the Superdome. They were there quite a time. They were also in LA. They were at the Rose Bowl. There was a couple of Super Bowls at the Rose Bowl. Then they branched out. They went to Minneapolis. Why? Because they have a dome. Again, I mentioned New Jersey, no dome, cold weather, the whole bit. So they were there. It's just Arizona is another warm one. San Francisco, they're on there. That's a Super Bowl 50 right there. The Broncos won that one in Santa Clara. And by the way, they're going back to Santa Clara. I think it's in 2026. They're going back. So it'd be kind of great if the Broncos were back in the Super Bowl and won it again. Be the only team to win the Super Bowl in the same city that held two Super Bowls. That'd be good. That'd be awesome. But going back to the Broncos Stadium, let's just hope that they build it with a retractable roof and that the Broncos finally get, or I should say the city of Denver, the state of Colorado, finally gets a well-deserved Super Bowl hosted venue. I mean, to me, that would be phenomenal to the sport. It'd be phenomenal for the city of Denver and for the state of Colorado. Absolutely. Yeah, Silverdome. That was it. Pontiac Silverdome. That's right. Pontiac Silverdome in Detroit. You're right. Redskins. Yep. Redskins and Bills. Yep. Minnesota, like I mentioned. Absolutely. So if Denver, think of this. If Denver builds a retractable roof domed stadium and Roger Goodell goes back on his word, that is going to not be a good thing. And that would not be a good thing at all. So I'm just hoping and wishing, and I'm really looking forward to a new stadium. Not that I don't like Mile High, because I love it. I've been there. Not for a game yet, but I've been there and toured it, and it's a phenomenal stadium, and all the upgrades are doing to it. So it's going to take years for a new stadium, guys. It's not going to happen. The Broncos are not going to, or Denver's not going to host a Super Bowl, let's say in, I don't even think in the 2020s. And, it's going to be sometime in the early 2030s, I would say, because they're doing all this renovation to Mile High now, and we're in 2023. It's going to take at least 3 to 4, maybe 5 years to build a stadium. And that's counting all the, doing all your background work and all your architect work and all of this. It's going to take at least 5 to 7 years. Well, that puts it at 2030. So, but I sure hope it happens. And I hope it happens either in the late 2020s or the early 2030s. I really would love to see that. Let's see. Spencer Bronco said, would the Dome Stadium take away the weather and altitude advantage? No. It will, yes. To a certain degree, it will if you close it. Certainly. It won't. The ball won't travel as far. You'll still be at altitude, but you'll have controlled air. It won't be the natural, outside atmospheric air. It'll be a controlled air because you'll have a dome that's closed. But if it's good weather, the Broncos will definitely open up the dome. I would definitely, no doubt about it, they would open it up. But yes, let's say at a night game, weather's bad, you got some snow, but then again, maybe they would want those elements. I mean, think about it. Maybe they would want those elements. I don't know, but that's all depending. But yes, to answer your question, it would affect the weather and it would affect the altitude to a certain degree because you would have a controlled airspace because the dome is closed. So now you don't have that super thin air because they can pump in air conditioning or heating, makes the air heavier. So yes, to answer your question, that is extremely true. But I have a feeling that they would only close it if there was inclement weather and it would adversely affect the Broncos game plan or the field conditions or the things of that nature. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Hey, Keith, I hope I'm saying this right. Keith Brugman, glad to have you. Glad to have you. Say welcome back. Hey, I'm glad to have you. Absolutely glad to have you in the chat. And thanks so much for showing up and for being part of the show. Really appreciate it. Let's see. Spencer Bronco says the current stadium let us know how well Russ was going to cook, hence the fire in the summer. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. No doubt about it. So, Russell Wilson played in Seattle that's kind of a half dome there because it kind of curves like this. It's still a lot of open space though, but they're not at altitude like Denver is. But they do have a lot of cold weather and they do have a lot of rain and situations like that. So, I just think that a retractable roof gives a lot more versatility. Obviously, you have control of the elements. You basically can shut out the elements or you can allow them in. It's not just one dimensional, it's two dimensional. And that's what I like. That's absolutely what I like. All right, guys, that's going to do it. That's it. That's all I have. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Guys, want to give a shout out to the guys in the chat like I always do. It's you are the ones that make the show better than it can be. Avatar, my sister Shirley, Kamani, glad to have you back again. Congratulations on your impending marriage. Christopher Earl Ashby, thank you so much for your comments. Big E Bronco, thanks again for being here. Spencer Bronco and VA 9986, thanks so much. Big E Bronco again. I'm sorry if I'm repeating, but I'm trying to get everybody in there. I don't want to miss anybody. And then Keith Bruckman, thank you so much for being in here. You guys always appreciate it. Like I said, you would not, or I should say, this show would not be as successful and as good as it is if it wasn't for every single one of you being in the chat, chiming in with your comments, your questions, all of that. It really does make the show that much better. And that's the reason why we're so successful. It's because of you guys. Thank you so very much for your support. If you have not hit the like button, please hit the like, hit subscribe. If you have not, it costs you nothing, but it definitely helps out the channel and the network. Really appreciate it. Guys, the shows. I think we're 10 shows strong now, if I'm not mistaken. We have shows on Monday. We have Cluster Puck Monday. We have Tuesday, 5280, followed by No Nonsense of Whiskey. We have Wednesday is the Wild Wild West. I believe there's another show. I'm sorry I missed it. Thursday is the what do we have Thursday? There is a Thursday show. I know we have a Thursday show. I thought we did. I know we do. I'm sorry, guys. The shows are just coming so rapidly. It's hard to catch up or keep up. And then my show on Friday, this show, Broncos Breakdown, brought to you by me, Bronco Bill, every Friday, live, 5, 6, 7, and 8. All right, guys, you guys have a wonderful long weekend. It's a long weekend. I want to say happy Memorial Day to everybody out there. Remember, if it wasn't for those men and women, this country wouldn't be as free as we are. So my hats off to every single service men and women. Thank you so much for your sacrifice. This country wouldn't be what it is without you. Thank you so much for your service. Guys, have a wonderful weekend. And until next Friday, have a great 3-day weekend. We will talk to you then. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.